Uh-oh.
Hello everyone! How are you doing? Wow, we almost got to a level 1 hype train and we didn't even start the show yet. That's pretty impressive. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be looking at some chuds. I heard, Daddy Sume, congratulations on the new employment. Now if you're driving to work, then you're actually driving. Although today isn't Sovereign Citizen Day, so... Hello, Weepy Little Sheepy, Captain Rachel, Vulcan Princess 97, The Meru Sama, Devious Chillster, Crystal Cat, Bailey Quinn, HHHHH9998, Rubabe, Nipslip 2020, Random Guy 2324 Real, welcome. Welcome everybody else. Toween24, thank you for continuing your gift sub. I know there were some other ones. Obowan, thank you for continuing your sub. It looks like it's going to work today, so the stream should be great. Professor Daddy1118, thank you for continuing your sub. David USA 94, thank you for continuing your sub. Mimwillis23, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Did I miss any? Is there one more? I think that's all the subs and stuff. Thank you, DM Trey, for continuing your sub. Wow, 3 months, nice. Gray Fox 2343, thank you for continuing your sub. Are we gonna do a leftover chud stuff from yesterday? Yeah. Twitch should be fixed. I hope. Ooh, my camera's being weird and laggy though. That's not like, that's just my camera. That's weird. But yeah, I think Twitch is doing alright. I looked at the Twitch issues page that I use, like, Twitch issues. Should be alright. Yesterday it was, like, way higher, so hopefully we'll be alright. At minimum, hopefully we won't disconnect, and that's what I'm worried about, because yesterday it was just untenable. We just couldn't do this because it was disconnecting constantly. But it seems that today we're going to be doing alright. I reset my Wi-Fi extender as well because this is my office is far enough away from my router that I need an extender. And that seemed to speed my internet up a little bit, so maybe it was a multitude of factors. I don't know. I was spending earlier today working on a script because I'm doing a thing with Paulosia on YouTube, if you're aware of Paul. And now I'm just ready to look at some chuds. Jeffrey Petrone, thank you for continuing your subscription. Woot woot. That's awesome. So yeah, let's switch over to the internet cam. Ooh, camera, internet cam, fantastic. Jeffrey Petrone, you're the stream boss now too. Lovely. Hope you're all doing well. Let's take a look. We have Sargon. As always, lovely Sargon. I'm sure you're bitching about things that are worth bitching about. We have Jeremy of the Quartering. We have Better Bachelor. We have the Golden One. We're going to redo this video that we tried to do yesterday because it obviously didn't work out. We kind of gave up after that. We're going to do some Tate speech. We're going to look at some of his popular videos we haven't seen just because, you know, I'm feeling Tate. I want to know what Tate has to say. We have Black Pigeon Speaks, talking about the, quote, twinkification of the Western man. And frankly, I'm all for that. Twinks are great. And then we have One Angry Gamer claiming that the Hallmark Channel is adding LGBTQIA plus propaganda to its lineup, and bitching about the fact that you can play as a lady in the latest Assassin's Creed game, which is weird because it's not even a new feature. You've been able to play as a lady in Assassin's Creed since the one that took place in Industrial London. I forget exactly what the name of that one was, but I like own all the Assassin's Creed games.
Nothing funny about the tools.
It's not my favorite one. But, like, even the last one, Odyssey, which I really, really liked. Thank you, Gothy Lassie, for continuing your subscription. I really liked Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Syndicate's the one I was thinking of, yeah. But I really like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And honestly, I've tried to play both as Alexios and Cassandra. I gave up on my Alexios playthrough because the voice actor was just not as good as the voice actress for Cassandra. But hey, that's a personal preference thing, I guess. Odyssey was great. I'm very excited for the new one. I love the Assassin's Creed games. They're some of my favorite games. Some people don't like that the gameplay is shifted to, like, this more combat-heavy, you know, there's outposts and you take them out stuff, but I like that, honestly. I think a lot of people forget that a lot of the old Assassin's Creed games, as much as I like them, involved a lot of just, like, walk along the rooftops and listen to this conversation, like... just tedious stuff, I don't know. And I like the naval combat, too, so. Captain Rachel says, I actually saw a thing that Odyssey was going to be just Cassandra, but higher-ups made them change it. Yeah, and I feel like you can tell when you play it, because it seems like a lot more care was taken with, like, the direction and the thematic resonance of Cassandra's story than it is Alexios. I think the story makes more sense as Cassandra's story than Alexios's. Let me put it that way. PK the Lost. You haven't missed much. We've only been on for 17 minutes or so. So you're good. Less of an assassin, more of a warrior. Yeah, and I'd like them to include more stealth elements, like the social stealth stuff, but it looks like they're bringing the social stealth back into it in the newest one, in Ragnarok, so... hopefully it'll be a good balance of if you want to play as like a warrior, because it's a Viking game, you can do that, but if you want to sort of do the sneaking around stuff, you can do that too. Also, Hidden Blade is back, which is good. So let me turn this music off, and then we can get to it. Since we're talking about it anyway, and it makes sense as a segue, let's go ahead and look at this article that one angry gamer wrote about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Animus video surfaces showing how Ivor can switch genders. So if you don't know, Assassin's Creed is a game that takes place in the near future, but it also involves some sci-fi technology where people have this thing they call like genetic memory, where the memories of your ancestors are encoded on your DNA. Of course, this isn't reality. It's just a little sci-fi concept, and the framing device of the games that take place throughout different places in history is you're going into the Animus, which is the machine they use to read the genetic memory, and you're reliving the memories of your ancestor. So there's often like a modern day story where you're like the modern day person and them going back into the Animus to view history for some reason. Usually it involves conspiracies, you know, with all that stuff. With conspiracies, with Templars, and all sorts of secret societies throughout history. It's a whole thing. So even within the game, the old-timey Viking or Egyptian or Greece stuff is a game within the game, if that makes sense. So it kind of gives them an excuse to, like, the loading screens are diegetic. Even your character in the game is actually experiencing the loading screens because it's a program, even within the logic of the game. Does that make sense? So you can, like, explain a lot of stuff around it. Anyway. Ubisoft will allow players to pick Ivor's gender in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. With that said, a new video has popped up and it shows that players can change the gender of Ivor at any time via the Animus. So in the previous game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you could pick between Alexios or Cassandra. They were they weren't twins, they were just siblings, and you could decide basically, do you want to be, you know, a male or a female. Mimi Willis23, thank you for following. Zandil, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. So you could pick male or female at the beginning of the game, but once you pick it, that's the character you're playing. In this game, however, it's going to be that you can switch, like, which character you're playing on the fly. I believe they're brother and sister in this as well. Usually that's how it is in these games because, again, the memory is, like, genetic. So... Ubisoft, who is on the Traitors of America list, who isn't? Everyone's on your Traitors of America list, aims to release Assassin's Creed Valhalla across PC via Uplay and the Epic Game Store PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Stadia on November 17th, 2020. I think Xbox is going to regret... I could be wrong. I think calling it Xbox Series X is going to confuse consumers. Not obviously people who play video games all the time, because, you know, people know this stuff, but, like, let's say a parent is going this holiday season to go pick up their kid the latest Xbox. Are they going to know the difference between an Xbox Series X and an Xbox, like, S? Just saying. I feel like they could have come up with a better name than that. But hey, do what you're going to do, Microsoft. In the meantime, Ubisoft has been attempting to promote the forthcoming Assassin's Creed game by revealing info via live streams and blog posts. However, it's worth noting that Assassin's Creed Valhalla will let players switch back and forth between male and female, Ivor at any time when playing the next-gen game. Why is next-gen in quotes? It is sort of a next-gen game, it's more a cross-gen game. You're a game reviewer, you should know that word. Cross-gen is a thing. It's a game that takes place both on the platforms that are currently out and the ones that will come out in the coming months. Algae of the Sea says, I think they aren't brother and sister. They have the same name. I think the framing is that the DNA is incomplete, and so either male or female can be used or something. Oh, okay. That's fine. Whatever. They have some sort of excuse as to why they don't know if it's a man or a woman. Fine. However, it's worth noting that Assassin's Creed Valhalla, oh, we already read that, next-gen game. Although the way you might be able to do this might change at launch. In the demo, players can go into the options menu and switch to the opposite gender when interacting with the Animus memory stream. With that said, you can check out Ivor change genders as if you were watching a mentally ill person change their Twitter icon and bio every time a new revolution pops up. That's a fucking yikes, friendo. Seriously? We not only have the transgender people are mentally ill meme, which no, we're not, by the way. You can ask an actual, like, psychologist about that. They'll tell you the same thing. And secondly, implying that everyone who's transgender is somehow some sort of trans-trender. That's a very yikesy position, too. And you combined them all up into one disgusting transphobic milkshake. Good job, one angry gamer. Anyway, here's a video of the option, apparently. The menu looks very much like it did in the last Assassin's Creed, Odyssey. A little bit different, but DNA stream selection. There you go. You just switch, and there you go. Now it's a man, Ivor. Yeah, that's it. And this guy's, like, triggered over it. According to the tweet by Access the Animus, this option is described by narrative director Darby McDevitt as a new feature that ensures both male and female versions of Ivor are considered canon. That's fine. Again, the framing device of the series is the Animus, so everything you're seeing is being filtered through it in the first place, so making the character a man or a woman, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. It's just a way of explaining away the preference of the player. It's cool. Does this person get angry when MMOs let you pick different genders? Unironically, I think they are. They don't like when female player characters are options. Unless they're people that they can jerk off to. They like that. Remember when EA said it would be too difficult to make a female character? Yeah, it was very stupid. They were like, oh, it's so tough to model female characters. Like, what? How? How is it any more difficult? Captain Rachel says, the framing device of Assassin's Creed is, it's sci-fi. We explain, but we don't have to be basing it off real stuff. Yeah. Basically. Lastly, the game will allow for gay Vikings. Will release for PC and home consoles later this year during the fourth quarter. Until then, more Assassin's Creed Valhalla info and footage will likely appear during Ubisoft's second Digital Forward event in September. I'd imagine there were gay Vikings. Let's look this up. Gay Vikings. Lots of romance novels about it. Vikings and homosexuality. Let's take a look. My personal research into homosexuality in the Viking Age shows clearly that the Vikings had words and therefore mental constructs and concepts of same-sex activity. However, since the needs of the agricultural, pastoral living require reproduction not only for work of the farm, but also to provide support for the parent in old age, it was expected that no matter what one's affectional preference were, that each individual would marry and reproduce. So basically, you can be gay, but you gotta have a kid because the society depends upon it, which is how a lot of societies functioned for most of human history. Gay Vikings existed. Deal with it. Daddy Sume says, so Hannah, I gotta say, the whole premise of Assassin's Creed bugged me, even with suspension of disbelief, because the whole idea of genetic memory doesn't really work that way. Dune has a way that makes much more sense. You only pass on genetic memory to your children, so people who didn't breed aren't there, and its genetic memory only goes up until you have kids. Then it ends because you're passing that on. Assassin's Creed has Ezio's story from when he's like 50 to 60 in Revelations or whatever, because he has a kid at old age. They do have points in Ezio fathers a kid in his, like, old age. That's how it works. Yeah. There's actually a scene in Assassin's Creed 3 where you're initially following Haytham Conway, and then the second he impregnates a woman, the memory starts following the fetus. Because at the moment of conception, the genetic memory stops being of that person and transfers to that person. So, it is a thing. What has Jeremy gone and done now? Would you believe he's bitching about Brie Larson again? Yeah. So let's see what One Angry Gamer has to say about Hallmark's channel. Does anyone outside of grandparents care about the Hallmark channel? I think our survey says no. If you wanted to watch something wholesome, healthy, and free from degeneracy, you literally have nowhere to turn. Hallmark Channel, the last bastion for normal, sane, well-adjusted women to watch shows and indulge in their cravings for positive romance films, is now completely covered and will be tarnished with their Christmas lineup propaganda attuned to accommodate the tawdry tastes of the cornhole commissars. Oh no. Dude Spanking Dude says, can you please change the title to Chud Watch Take 2 Electric Boogaloo? No. I've used the Electric Boogaloo joke before. So the Hallmark Channel, does like pretty, let's see what the Hallmark Channel lineup, let's see what's on the Hallmark Channel today. The Hallmark Channel, for those of you who don't know, if you're not in the States or whatever, is a company branded after the Hallmark Greeting Card Corporation. Jousterzen with, oh Jesus, stop. Jousterzen with 5 bits says, hi Hannah, hello, welcome. The Hallmark Channel is this channel that boomers watch. It involves incredibly bland, generic, usually at least vaguely Christian bullshit. Like, look at the images for all these. A bland white couple posing in front of a Christmas thing. We have a bland black couple posing in front of a Christmas thing, bland white couple with cats. Like, this is the kind of shit that Hallmark does. They make bottom-of-the-barrel TV movies, the kind of stuff that you find in the $5 bin at the dollar store, and it's all crap. So who the fuck cares?
Saturday,
who cares?
August 1st.
You deserve
It's
a
often,
good vacation. Like I'll be
oh
able
god,
to
the music
enjoy
won't
it
stop.
worry
Make
about
it
my
stop.
No matter where life takes
The
you,
Hallmark Channel's
Career.
in my brain!
My teenage years.
When
You
it
can
comes to
basically
falling
see
in
what
love,
the channel is
Missed
from all
this.
these pictures.
Me too.
Right?
the sky's the limit.
It's generic greeting card, the TV channel. Towing24 with a bit. There's a great funny podcast, Dave and Jeb Aren't Mean, that discuss Hallmark movies. That sounds funny. Hallmark movie made... Yeah, they're like stock images turned into movies. Yes, that's how I would describe it. Good job, Random Guy 2324. It is. And they also play stuff like, you know, Touched by an Angel, Seventh Heaven. A lot of, like, generically Christian stuff. Like, it's like Pure Flix, but for non-evangelicals. It's Pure Flix for non-denominational Christians. That's how I would put it. According to Apsarai, I don't know who that is. Hallmark issued a statement about adding more LGBTQIA plus content to their channel, despite that demographic not even watching Hallmark. They're probably moving because they understand that within the next 10 years, their entire audience, which is made up of old grandmas, are going to die. So they're probably trying to get more audience members to come and watch their generic crap. In the article, they provided a quote from a Hallmark spokesperson who stated, quote, "Diversity and inclusion is a top priority for us as we look forward to making some exciting programming announcements in the coming months, including announcements about projects featuring LGBTQ storylines, characters, and actors. We're committed to creating a Hallmark experience where everyone feels at home." So that's nice. We're at the point where gay, lesbian, bi, transgender, genderqueer, whatever people can be exploited by corporations just as easily as straight white people. This literally goes against the core demographic of the Hallmark Channel, who are mostly straight white women between 18 and 54, as reported by Futon Critic. 26% of Hallmark's viewers are 50 and older, according to Statista. Yeah, they're probably trying to expand the people who watch their channel. Also, I don't like the implication that straight white women can't enjoy stories about lesbians or gay people or transgender individuals. Like, people can enjoy stories about people different than themselves. Why would I want to watch a story that's just about people exactly like me all the time? It would be super boring. For years, Hallmark has dominated the Christmas season. I don't know about that, with surprisingly strong numbers from heterosexual romance films, managing to make the top 15 most watched cable stations during the Christmas 2016 season, according to Deadline. Yeah, they do a ton of stuff like that. They managed to move up the ranks through 2017, consistently capturing the straight white female demographic, as begrudgingly admitted by the Washington Post. Bill Abbott, the president and CEO of Hallmark's parent company, Crown Media Family Networks, told Forbes that the method of focusing on the target demographic has helped them grow despite the rest of cable network television and ad delivery for other channels shrinking, saying, quote, "The demand for Hallmark brand has never been stronger, and we are excited to see the advertising community recognize our position as an industry leader, not only during the Q4 holiday season, but throughout the year," end quote. So basically they're just saying, yeah, we make a lot of Christmas movies. Great. But Hannah, what if they catch the gay from it? Good. The gay agenda will push forward. Daddy Sume, gay women loved fucking Brokeback Mountain. What the fuck are you talking about? Ladies love yaoi. True. Daddy Sume also says women loved Brokeback. Oh, it's just the same one. Yep. Again, Forbes had to begrudgingly admit that despite the media's persistent attacks against Hallmark for not being diverse enough, the channel still urged ahead in viewership and ad dollar revenue. In the article, Forbes explained, quote, "Currently registering more year-over-year 2019 versus 2018 growth in actual primetime and total day impressions among total viewership and households than any other 115 ad-supported cable networks in 2019 to date. Hallmark has also faced a few content challenges that the potential to negatively influence their numbers instead. Viewership rallied," end quote. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that it's the last safe haven from the Rainbow Mafia racket. Ooh, fun. Do we get jackets in the Rainbow Mafia? I'd love to get to be like a maid woman in the Rainbow Mafia. Please contact me, Rainbow Mafia. I'll be a hit woman or whatever you guys do. That'll be fun. So basically, they're saying that the viewership of Hallmark has gone up, which doesn't surprise me, as more and more channels go off the air because cable is struggling. The demographic that continues to hold on to their cable subscriptions are old people. And old people are going to flock to bland milquetoast, like Hallmark type stuff. And that's fine. If that's what they want to watch, I'm not here to shit on them for it. But, like, also having a movie or two on the network where some of the characters are gay or trans is not going to hurt anyone. It's fine. Simpotent with 100 bits. Hey, Hannah Banana. Hello, Simpotent. Welcome to the stream. Every other station, channel, broadcast network, and streaming service is filled to the brim with LGBTQIA plus propaganda. Source? Filled to the brim. They just have gay and trans characters sometimes. You know, like real life. Is real life propaganda because gay people are in it? Because rad. I didn't know we were that powerful. There's nowhere to turn to find wholesome, positive, family-oriented content other than the Hallmark Channel. Get a PureFlix subscription. Get a PureFlix subscription. And also, even if you have some sort of personal grievance against LGBTQIA plus people for whatever reason, no one's making you watch the movies. No one's making you watch the shows with gay characters. Like, just don't watch them and leave us alone. Like, gay people exist, dude. Trans people exist. Hello, I'm one. Hi. You don't get to just pretend we don't? So, like, grow up and deal with it? We've been watching straight cis shows since we were born. I think you can handle the existence of non-straight cis people? What a baby. Bumble Homestead, thank you for continuing your subscription. I appreciate that. Heck, even channels dedicated to kids, such as Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, have gone all in on promoting degeneracy. Let's see what these articles link to. I assume these are Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network characters that are either gay or whatever. Cartoon Network, Craig of the Creek promotes pronoun propaganda to kids. Cartoon Network, a company that's one on the Traders of America list, what a shock, excuse me, has gone all in on degenerate propaganda. They've been pushing the gay agenda down the throats of kids for some time now, and they have no means of letting up. In fact, they've become even more bold and brazen in recent times, with their latest tweet promoting pronoun propaganda to kids. The tweet was published on June 25th, 2020, with plenty of support from, quote, mentally ill people, end quote, that populate Twitter. Stupid. No.
Angel!
Oh, hey, Craig.
I'm here to drop off my sister, Jessica.
Hello.
Oh, welcome, Jessica. It's so nice to meet you. You're gonna have lots of fun here. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to fill out these forms. I'll need your name, number, pronouns, any allergies your sibling may have, and your preferred excuse if they get into trouble and need to call.
So they use pronouns as one of the things to put on the list for this daycare or whatever. I don't know the premise of this show. I haven't watched new Cartoon Network shows in quite a few years. And that's not completely unreasonable. If you have kids and they want to be called a certain thing and you're dropping them off to a daycare, it would make sense to include that in information. Dude Spanking Dude says, I don't think that's the problem, Hannah. I think the problem is that these people don't want to normalize LGBTQ. They know they exist, they just don't want it to be seen as normal and want it kept off the radar. Well, that's stupid. Too bad. They don't get that. It is normalized already. Welcome to the world. It's not 1986. You don't get to just be like, oh, those weird gay people. Like, no. Nope. Not gonna happen. What was this one? Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon criticized for openly promoting, quote, degeneracy to kids. Basically, they have a Cartoon Network, trans flag, heart, Nickelodeon trans flag. Nice. Nice. I hate this, too. People are going like, it's a children's network. Yeah? And? Kids can be trans, dude. What they won't is inform you the dangers of the... He always does this copy pasta that he has, where he talks about higher rates of, like, alcoholism and substance abuse in the LGBTQ community, while completely ignoring the fact that people harassing us like this are the cause of these things. It's not that, like, being a dude and liking dudes, or being a lady and liking ladies, or identifying as a gender opposite to your own, those things in and of themselves won't make you want to drink. How we get treated by society, that'll make you want to drink. Trust me. Unfortunately, after the Rainbow Reich, the Rainbow Reich, Jesus, took aim at Hallmark for removing a lesbian ad from Zola, the company kowtowed to the demands, and now they're further spreading their cheeks for the backdoor bandits. Very vivid imagery in this angry, angry article. Ruining their offerings with LGBTQIA plus propaganda. This is like when kids don't want the peas to touch their mashed potatoes, or they think they're ruined. If you have even one show with a gay character on your network, It'll taint everything else. How? Just watch the things you want to watch. I imagine their 2020 ratings will still say solid, but once normal people get a whiff of the LGBTBBQ, oh, it's like making fun of the fact that there's letters, propaganda, they will likely tune out of Hallmark for the 2021 Christmas lineup. I'd imagine over time Hallmark's numbers will dwindle, but that's because cable in general is failing and flailing. Like, that's gonna happen at some point. At this point, though, Hallmark is proving they really don't care about money, but they do care about spreading degenerate messages for a phantom audience. What? What? They're clearly trying to expand the demographic that watches their channel. Do you think there aren't, like, gay or lesbian people or trans people who don't want, like, milquetoast bullshit Hallmark movies? I don't, but I'm sure there are people out there who happen to be LGBTQIA+, whatever, who would be interested in some sort of generic Hallmark type of movie. They're recognizing that their audience, who you even said, like, 25% are above 60 or something, they're recognizing their audience is going to die off and they need to change. That's what companies do, friendo. Anyway, that's it for one angry gamer for the day. He's angry as usual. At least his name is apt. He's just angry about dumb things that are, like, inconsequential.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you to Devious Chillster with 25 bits. It's so gross. The only gay they like is lesbian porn. It legit makes me want to vom. Same. Tomcatter 23. The fucking ads on that page. I'm dying. Oh, I didn't even notice them. I tune out ads. I didn't see what they were. I thought I had an ad blocker on, too. That's strange. Anyway, let's see what else we got. We got a COD, quartering. Let's do the quartering. The quartering sounds good. He did, I gotta find it. I had it queued up, but then my thing crashed and I had to reset everything. Something about Brie Larson. There we go.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you to Dude Spanking Dudes with a bit. Hey chat, don't knock sexy anime girls. So the quartering, Jeremy. I'm as obsessed with Jeremy's obsession at Brie Larson as he is obsessed with Brie Larson. Fun fact. So Jeremy has yet another video about Brie Larson's YouTube channel. Very excited to see it. Yes, still. Yes, he's still talking about Brie Larson. What's Brie Larson's channel up to today? Let's see. Brie Larson YouTube. Let's see how many subscribers she has. 306,000 subscribers, and now she has 3 videos. This one has very many likes to dislikes. You ever notice that when Jeremy gets a hold of one of the videos and talks about him, the dislike ratio is always higher? Gee, it's almost like he gets people to come and harass her, and he knows he's doing it. Very nice, Jeremy. Very, very nice. Anyway, let's see what he has to say now, shall we?
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Recording, and as many of you know, you have arrived at the #1 Brie Larson fan page on YouTube.
That's true, actually. That's true. And I am the #1 fan page of Jeremy being a fan of Brie Larson. So, it's turtles all the way down.
There is unlikely to be another creator that has made as many videos worshiping the ground in which Brie Larson walks on than this channel. And I hope, if you haven't already, that today will be the day you consider hitting that red subscribe button right below the video so you stay up to date on all the latest gaming, movie, music, and...
You know what, Jeremy? I do love you. So yes, we will subscribe. There we go. You've been subscribed, Jeremy.
Entertainment and technology news here on The Quartering. Appreciate you. Now, I wouldn't normally respond to a fan account in a video format. I've kind of...
Someone sent some sort of...
gone away.
Hold on. Streaming platforms have effectively convinced people quantity is better than quality. Stop paying for the peanut in the turd. Jeremy, you talk about Brie Larson constantly, and even when you aren't talking about Brie Larson, you put like 5 or 6 videos a day out. Like, don't get me wrong, I do too, because they're cut-ups of my streams, but like, Jesus, dude, you put out tons of content. What? You're the last YouTuber to say that shit. It'd be one thing if you put out like one really polished video a week, or month, or whatever. But that's not the case, so what are you talking about? General Teg, thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime.
I made a very public statement about being concerned about dogpiling and what happens to people if you highlight out, you know, their particular tweets. If you have watched my channel over the past couple weeks, maybe even months, you'll see that I've definitely
thank you, Espresso Rat. Thank you for
gone
subscribing
away
with
from
Twitch
just
Prime.
replying to these long tweet threads. But
here we have someone looking at all the videos Jeremy has done of Brie Larson. Just from here, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35 videos, and I haven't even clicked on this to see. This person who says, at Brie Larson HQ2 says, I've been quiet about this for a while, and it's just enough. They literally want this woman dead at this point. She talks about people of color getting more spotlight in Hollywood. She gets harassed. She lifts Thor's hammer prop. She gets harassed. She makes a YouTube channel. This. Oh, these aren't even just Jeremy. This is everyone, like, all the chuddy people talking about her. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy how obsessed these people are with Brie Larson. It's hilarious to me. Like, how do they still have a brain with how much free real estate they're giving her in their brains every day? It's bananas.
this one is about me, and it's particularly vile, and we're going to take a look at it.
Oh, is it vile? It's vile to call me out on my constant obsession with Brie Larson. Why don't you just let me pretend she's my waifu? Jeremy, stop it. Get some help.
Where did all this start? Well, all of this started when Brie Larson joined YouTube. Now, here's the thing. There are a lot of Hollywood celebrities who are on YouTube that don't receive the same kind of backlash. In fact, let me show you one that I think did it right. Okay? Kevin James. He has 575,000 subscribers. Okay, I just found
Paul Blart Mall Cop
on his channel today, actually, because I was looking for other Hollywood celebrities who kind of just came to YouTube and did their thing, right? He's amassed 575,000 subscribers, and he does little short films on his YouTube channel. And I think looks like the very first video he ever did was called Star Wars Sound Guy. 53,000 likes, 544 dislikes. Not 544,000, 544. And, you know, you look at a lot of these videos that Kevin James has put out. Will Smith got mad at me. Kevin James, 250,000 likes, 3,000 dislikes. This is a Hollywood...
what was that? Razor Beast, thank you for continuing your subscription.
Celebrity who appeared on, and you see Will Smith's comment, this is not how I remember things going down. A YouTuber, Hollywood celebrity, that is not, you know, massively downvoted by the community. Why? Because Kevin James showed up on YouTube. As far as I can tell, he's not ever been put on trending. There weren't a million articles written about Kevin James joining YouTube. Maybe there was. I just didn't see them. Maybe they weren't on my radar. He's authentic. He's himself. He, actually, I shouldn't even say that. He just entertains. You know, his videos are produced, you know, heavily produced. 5-minute shorts. I watched what one did I watch today? It was like, I remember something or something like that. Oh, what was I going to say?
Why are we talking about Kevin
views,
James? You like Kevin James? Okay.
Just a well-produced 5-minute short 23,000 likes, 344
There's nothing funny
dislikes.
about the
Again,
tools of capitalism.
not
Dudes making dudes as I
344,000.
highly doubt if a female celebrity had good quality YouTube
344
videos with a lot of likes.
dislikes.
He would.
And here's a PB&J ASMR video.
That has a lot of likes. Would you that
Just
she's
Kevin
only
James being
getting
Kevin
is
James.
because you worded that
and
really badly.
I don't even know if he monetizes his videos. I
He
didn't
would
get
claim it's
ads on
because
him when I
Sims,
clicked on
yeah.
it, but nonetheless, even if he did, fine. On the contrast, you have Brie Larson. The recent Brie Larson YouTube video posted near 2 weeks ago now has over 100,000 dislikes as fans voice their dissent for the Captain Marvel actress. The 30-year-old recently launched a YouTube channel with the obvious help of public relations team and a full production team, which led to backlash not only from fans but fellow YouTubers as well. Within mere hours of posting her first video, So I Made a Decision, the number of dislikes started to skyrocket and now are over 107,000.
Jeremy, again, that's because of you and chuds like you who feel the need to take the time to go and, like, talk about the fact that you don't like her. You know what I don't do when I don't like a YouTube channel and it's not hurting anyone? I just don't talk about it. I just move on. Clearly, there are a lot of people who do like Brie Larson's content. A lot of people have watched her. She has over 300,000 subscribers already. It's fine. You don't have to like it personally, Jeremy. It's not for you, as she has explained many times about different things. It's like you're a man-child that expects every single piece of content produced by humanity to directly appeal to you. It's not for you, Jeremy. You don't have to like it. Who cares what you think?
Actually, I should check. I should see what it even is right now because a second video! A second video! Oh my god, a second video!
Jeremy, this is embarrassing. Please, put a moratorium on your channel of Brie Larson for like a year. Stop.
A second video. I can't believe it. It happened. It happened. Right, live. Live! Let's see how this is doing. I'm gonna have to react to that one in a little different manner. So it has 113,000 dislikes, 236,000 likes. Now I wonder if likes, dislikes, and comments are on for this latest video. Let's see.
Oh, he was expecting so hard that he had harassed her enough that she turned him off, but they're on. So he's almost disappointed that they're actually on. What a shock. And look at the ratio on this video before he gets to it. It's almost like him and other weirdos like him who are obsessed with her and send their incel audiences to go, like, dislike the video have a profound impact on her channel. What a shock, Jeremy.
They are. And what looks to be here, much better ratio. Much better ratio.
It's because you haven't made a video about it yet, Jeremy. Now it's a little worse because you then put this video out and your people who apparently have nothing better to do than to think that they're having any effect on a millionaire. You're not. That she doesn't care. I guarantee a company runs this page for her. I doubt she cares. It's literally to promote her as an actress, and that's fine. Anyone can upload a video to YouTube, as long as it's within community guidelines. If a celebrity wants to use it to promote themselves, fine, I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. Jeremy, why are you so obsessed? It's so weird.
Ratio. So I'm wondering if it's more. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna watch this on my own time. I'm gonna make myself a PB&J and a little glass of full fat milk. Sit down and watch it. And this one looks to be doing much better. 19,000 likes to 932,000 dislikes. Most of the comments here, people hating on her are weird. She's softies person. I think she's cute.
They're trying to say she's the softest person I've ever seen.
And funny. What?
Reading comprehension, Jeremy, is fundamental.
Good. I think she took some feedback. Brie playing Animal Crossing. Look, there's no doubt in my mind that she plays Animal Crossing. You know, and I think that that's good. Look at that. She's exporting gameplay. She's using Joy-Cons while wearing what appears to be a bed sheet full of wrinkles.
How salty is he that he looks at her in pajamas and goes, she's wearing a bed sheet with wrinkles. Jeremy, she's in pajamas. What? What?
This video...
As we all know, it's very unrealistic. All women spend all their time inside in a full face of makeup, wearing stiletto heels and a thong. That's how Jeremy views all women, apparently.
So, looks to be more authentic. You got someone importing your gameplay footage. I like this. Okay, so we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how things go here. But
Jeremy definitely masturbated this video later, like 100%. He's sitting next to all his in his room full of toys, going, "Yeah, Bree, fucking shake those trees. Yeah, sell that shit to Tom Nook. Pay your mortgage. Ugh." Jeremy, please stop. Please stop.
But it looks like maybe Bree is improving. Now, I digress. With thousands and thousands of comments on the video, over 76,000 are filled with fans criticizing Larson. My spidey senses is tingling, and I think the comment section will be disabled in future videos, states one comment that has 1.2 thousand likes.
This is from Cosmic Book News, which is another Chud site. Jeremy, the reason that you think her comments will turn off is because you're harassing her. That's why. In fact, you went into that video going, are her comments turned on? Is her likes and dislikes turned on? Specifically because you're hoping they won't be. Because somewhere in your brain you think it would be an achievement to get someone to turn those off. It's very strange, Jeremy.
And to Brie Larson's credit, look, if you're going to be critical of somebody, you've got to give them credit where credit is due. Otherwise, you're just like a psychotic hater. And that's not what I want. I want Brie to flourish here on YouTube. So her first video was a gigantic disaster. She published a second one, which we're going to have to see. Oh, she did as a premiere. Oh, nice. Thank you for watching me ramble and play one of my favorite video games, Animal Crossing.
Watching Jeremy try and, like, forensically look at things to criticize about just this random uploaded video by this YouTuber now, Brie Larson, is hilarious. He's desperately looking through the description. He's like, oh, it premiered. Look, he's reading every word on the page to try and find something he can make fun of. He is desperate for Brie Larson content. It's so bizarre.
I think that's good. I think that's good. We'll see how this shakes out. But one Brie Larson fan is very angry. Very angry.
Yeah, they're weirded out by the fact that you're basically harassing her. Celebrity or not, the fact that you spend this much time obsessing over this woman is fucking weird. It's weird, Jeremy. Stop being such a weirdo. It's like, you get one of the three things. Live in a house full of toys, be a chud, or obsess over some woman on the internet. You don't get to be all three, Jeremy. You're already ticking off 2 of the boxes. Just stop obsessing over Brie Larson. It's causing me to have an obsession about your obsession, and it's unhealthy for me.
I've been quiet about this for a while. It's just enough. They literally want this woman dead at this point. She talks about POCs getting more spotlight in Hollywood. She gets harassed. She lifts Thor's hammer.
That's how you know someone's being reasonable, is when they read someone else's tweet like this. They read like this because this is obviously the tone in which they meant it to be read. It's not silly and a straw man at all. Thank you, Valley66 for following.
She gets harassed. She makes a YouTube channel. This. And this is, what, a bunch of videos making fun of Brie Larson. Maybe. But interestingly, a lot of these aren't even about her YouTube channel.
Jeremy, they're talking about Don't be intentionally obtuse, Jeremy. It does not suit you. You know that they're talking about the general harassment that has come out of YouTube, out of these weird chud spaces where they're obsessed with this woman. I don't get it. Like, here's the thing, too. Like, there are criticisms I could make of, like, the Captain Marvel movie. It was a pretty generic, like, Marvel origin movie, but I liked it overall, but there are things to criticize. But people like you make it impossible to criticize in good faith, because the second you have any criticism of Captain Marvel, like, all of a sudden, all these chuds crawl up from under a rock like cockroaches. They're like, oh, she hates white men! No! That's not what she said! Stop, Jeremy! Stop it!
Oh, none of my videos? Where's mine? Where's mine? Not 1.25? I'm her biggest fan!
Jeremy's salty that he's not getting attention from the girl he's picking on because he has a crush on her. Like, it couldn't be any more transparent. It's like he's, like, in elementary school and Brie Larson's sitting in front of her and he's, like, pulling on her hair to try and get her attention because he has a crush, and she's just not turning around to look at him. And he's like, why won't she look at me? Jeremy, this is not how you get someone's attention. Please grow up.
So disappointing. Oh, there I am. Whoop, there I am again. Whoop, there I am again.
Oh, she looked around! Haha! I got attention! Therefore, everything I do is validated, regardless of whether the attention was positive or negative. Jesus.
Alright, I have 3, but I can't even relate. I can't even touch some of these other creators. I gotta get my numbers up.
Please do, Jeremy. So much content. I want to see until we actually get to the video where you do, like, a Coom tribute to Brie Larson. Because I think you're about 5 videos away from it. And on that day, I think you'll finally get kicked off the platform, and that'll be nice for everyone.
She goes on to say, by the way, this is not even 50% of the content made about her every single day. Not true. She's been getting her.
Let's see, I don't know. It could be hyperbole, but tons of content gets made about Brie Larson. Brie Larson. Let's look and filter based on upload date. There's just a Brie Larson interview. Oh, is this brand new? Is this her channel or is this a different
Introduce
one?
yourself, please.
Oh no, this is just a channel that re-uploads her stuff with subtitles. Brie Larson versus Geeks and Gamers sub count. I don't know who did that one, but I approve. That's very funny. Brie Larson reminds Twitter that she can sing. Hunter Avalone on Brie Larson. Oh god, what does Hunter Avalone have to say about Brie Larson? Who cares? There's a Brie Larson video from today. There's a Brie Larson video from today. There's a Brie Larson video from today. Captain Marvel 2. That's not necessarily negative. It's just like a generic clickbait video about the Marvel universe. Shamrock, star with 8 bits. Thank you very much. Brie Larson, the woke dictating Brie Larson's sexuality, absolutely disgusting. These woke SJWs need to be checked. Can we check? We gotta look at this one. It's only 3 minutes. Oh boy. Please. This is gonna be probably a little mean. Because as much as Jeremy is a dick and a weirdo, he can speak to the camera. He knows how to speak to the camera in such a way that if you agree with him, at the very least, he doesn't come off as a freak. I think he is based on the content, but I can see how a young dude who's, like, in his teens or whatever could look at Jeremy and think he's, like, cool. I'm guessing this guy is gonna be exactly what we're expecting out of someone who obsesses about Brie Larson. So let's see how it goes, shall we? I hope the mic isn't awful.
Hi, this is Future Movie Warzone, and why is it acceptable for the woke people of the world, the SJWs, to dictate what someone's sexuality should be? They're trying to dictate in Brie Larson being a lesbian and should be a lesbian because they want Brie Larson to be a lesbian. They want her to...
Okay, first of all, you've just repeated yourself multiple times. But, yeah, a lot of people have expressed a want for Brie Larson to be depicted as a lesbian in the Marvel movies. I would argue you could say she's at least lightly coded lesbian in that movie. I don't necessarily think she is, but you could see it, right? A little bit like, Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok was kind of coded lesbian, although I think it was heavier in the Valkyrie one.
To come out, so her Captain Marvel character automatically will go the lesbian route when it comes to her character arc in the MCU. They're just so desperate, in a sense, to have more celebrities to be on the woke side and be a full SJW. They see...
Guy, you know lesbians exist in the real world, right? Like, lesbians exist? So, what agenda? Oh yeah, let's downvote this too. Whoop! That's an unfortunate ratio.
Maybe Brie Larson is losing that SJW, in a sense, values she once had, and seeing that woke people will backstab you, and therefore you should be more like Scarlett Johansson. Clearly, I feel like Scarlett Johansson is rubbing off Brie Larson when it comes to some of her opinions.
Let me guess, this guy likes Scarlett Johansson because he jerks off to her.
And how she now sees the world, and SJWs clearly don't want to lose that, even though they're backstabbing Brie Larson left, right and centre when they see fit at the end of the day. But it's wrong for these SJWs to try and, in a sense, label Brie Larson's sexuality, even though it's her...
What? They're not labeling Brie Larson's sexuality. As far as I know, Brie Larson's straight. I don't know, though. It's none of my fucking business. If she's not open about it, I don't care. They're talking about the character Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. You know Brie Larson's a different person than that, right? You understand how acting works? Maybe check out Galaxy Quest.
Her choice what sexuality she is. She happens to be a straight woman. Therefore, nothing's going to change that. That's her choice. It doesn't mean she's not going to change in the future.
Okay, but like straight people can play gay characters. They have. Like Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know why this is the first one that came to mind for me. He played Alan Turing in the whatever movie that was. And Alan Turing was a gay man. Straight people can and have played gay people before. Brie Larson doesn't have to be a lesbian or bisexual for Captain Marvel to be. I don't really care either way. But if they made Captain Marvel bisexual or something, which I think would be cool, what of it? That has nothing to do with Brie Larson's sexuality.
But that is who she is. Therefore, these SJWs need to shut up and put up. They're not going to change Brie Larson's sexuality, and shouldn't, in a sense, be forcing something on Brie Larson.
Alright, this is mean. I can't make fun of this kid anymore. He's just very, very, not good. Let's put it that way. Let's see. There's a song someone did about Brie Larson. Oh, no.
So you don't do...
I
See,
do all my
this is the
stunts.
thing. I did my stunts because I thought that that's what everyone did, and then...
Tom Cruise over here.
No, I want to be the first mean.
Song? There we go.
They're not making movies anymore, and the people aren't talking about you. But since you were a child, you've been used to have the light shining upon you. So where the hell do you go to stroke that big ego? You go on YouTube.
Dude, she's doing YouTube as a promotional thing. Did you make a song about Will Smith when he did the same? Let's take a look, shall we? We have something about Kathleen Kennedy. We have a thing about the New Warriors. Huh. I don't see a video where you do the same for Jack Black or Will Smith. It seems like you just don't like Brie Larson. Very strange. Thank you, Dudes Banking Dudes, who says, that face when you hate Brie so much, you make a song dedicated to her. I know. Crazy. So, look at all these videos on Brie fucking Larson. It's like bananas. It's bananas how many people are obsessed with her, Jeremy.
harassed for so long? Do they even realize that she's a real person? Yeah, I think I do, which is why I go out of my way. Like, I don't want people to like dislike Brigade her videos.
You always say that, yet it always happens. So it would kind of be like saying, I don't want to burn my hand, regardless, every time you go up to the stove, you touch it, right? You touch it, and you're like, I don't want to get burned, but you touch it, and you know what's going to happen. So you say you don't want her to get brigaded, but every time something happens with her channel, you take the time to make a video about it. So it seems like that is what you want. Disavow all you want. It seems pretty obvious. Devious Chillster with 25 bits, and people wonder why women feel harassed on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even vote. I don't like or dislike them. I don't want people to run her off YouTube, but I do report on the news, and
the news.
I'm no different than every major Hollywood outlet that put out articles announcing Brie Larson coming to YouTube. Just because I'm not happy about another YouTube celebrity getting promoted by YouTube actually has nothing at all to do with Brie Larson. If I was covering more of this Hollywood topic stuff, I would have covered Will Smith. I'm sure I've ripped on him in the past before.
You haven't made like 30 videos about him, though. Isn't that curious?
Although now I feel kind of bad for the guy, but nothing else. And remember, she's still so kind to everyone, except 40-year-old white guys, and never once said anything bad.
She never said anything bad about white guys. The fragility involved in hearing Brie Larson say, hey, this movie's made for like a female audience. We should have more female reviewers looking at it. Or this movie's made for like people of color in mind. It was made by people who have a different life experience than you. Maybe we should have those kind of people reviewing the movie. And then all the white guys who are like Jeremy go, are you telling me the world doesn't always revolve around me, and every piece of media in the history of the human race isn't made specifically with me in mind? You hate straight white men. Jeremy, no. That's not at all what she said. Please calm down. You're being fucking hysterical. Towing24, should we put up a poll? Who does Jeremy want to jerk it to more, Brie or She-Ra? It's definitely Brie.
Towards these, quote, YouTubers, and has become a target since almost 2 years, and so much hate. Why can't they just leave her alone? Look, I'd be happy to leave her alone.
What? No. What? You've made, like, let's just see... Let's see how many videos Jeremy's done of her, shall we? YouTube.com. Recording Brie Larson. Let's see how many we can count. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This one mentions Brie Larson, so I'm going to count it. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Ooh, there's me. 23. 23, 24. We're at 24. Can we do more? 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Can we get to 30? Can we get to 30 Brie Larson videos? Come on, Jeremy. You can do it! I'm not seeing one. I'm not seeing one. So from what I can see, we have 29 videos on Brie Larson. Jeremy, do you see that you have a fucking problem? I missed one? Then 30.
YouTube, stop shoving her down my throat.
Jeremy, I wouldn't even know Brie Larson had a YouTube channel if it weren't for you. Honestly, I wouldn't. I would have no idea. It wouldn't be a channel I'd go to if it weren't for you. So thank you for letting me know, Jeremy. No one is shoving anything down your throat. You are obsessed.
And you see here, Brie talking about if she was ready for the brutal comments about Captain Marvel. I'm on social media, I'm posting stuff there, but I don't read any of the comments. I have imposed this rule from the beginning. I know who I am. I don't need outsiders to tell me that. So then she's fine. She doesn't read her own comment section, she says. Brie talked about trolls and haters. I made a promise to myself long ago that I won't pay attention to either of it, positive or negative. I just do what feels right in my heart, and all that stuff outside is noise. That's actually a great way to look at it. I think this is an excellent quote from Brie Larson. Another stunning and brave supporter. But then here's where things get a little frustrating. I wasn't going to say anything. But then we have this then they go on to say, bad guy from WW2 supporter just keeps going back to her video to see how many dislikes she has. So? First of all...
So it's like weirdly obsessive, Jeremy. It's weird to focus that much on someone's videos and how many dislikes they get. It would be like if I came to your channel every other day and you're like, let's see how many dislikes the quartering has. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll address your content because I think it's toxic, but that has nothing to do with me having a personal vendetta against you or your channel. I don't give a fuck, you weirdo. Stop obsessing. It's bizarre.
First of all, I'm pretty sure I've been pretty outspoken about some very bad opinions espoused by Nick Cannon. I don't think I sympathize or support anybody in or around the bad guys from WW2, and I never have, and it's disgusting that you would even say that. And then they take in Team YouTube. Do you have no responsibility to take care of content creator on your platform who has been getting made fun of every day? And Team YouTube replies, thanks for the tag. You can report channels that violate our harassment and cyberbullying policy following these steps. Me and my friends have been reporting since the last 2 weeks. No action. So now we have confirmed that YouTube is getting involved to protect Brie Larson's channel.
Yeah, because Jeremy, you're obsessed and you're basically harassing her at this point. Just coverage isn't harassment, let me be clear. But the level at which you are covering her, and people like you are covering her, with constant weird misrepresentation of her positions, calling her like all kinds of names, calling her this SJW, like, yeah, there's gray area here, but you're firmly on the side of harassment at this point, I would argue. If YouTube got involved, honestly, if there's anything that will ever get Jeremy off of YouTube, it will be his obsession with Brie Larson. I'm not kidding. At some point, YouTube will get involved because he's so weird about it.
Not a good look at all for Brie. Not a good look for her fans. And it's disgusting. I hope you enjoyed this video, though. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Jesus, Jeremy. I don't know. Jeremy's a fucking weirdo. I wish he'd stop obsessing over Brie Larson so I could stop obsessing over him obsessing over Brie Larson. That would be nice.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dudes banking dudes. Pigeon Man next or Golden One? Let's do the Golden One. The Golden One, for those of you who don't know, is from somewhere in some Nordic country. I'm not sure exactly where. But he's a Nazi. And I don't mean that just as a pejorative. I mean that as he is literally like an ethno-nationalist Aryan weirdo. So let's see. He has a Q&A video. Let's see what his Q&A video has to say, shall we?
Post-physique. Greetings, true friends. I have first and foremost written a little article on my thegoldenone.se page, which you can check out below. It's mainly about the latest Legio Gloria releases, but you know, I like writing articles every once in a while, and I'm trying to drive traffic to the page. So yeah, check it out if you want. So basically, I will try to respond to all of the questions. So each question will be a bit shorter in the answer, but that way I can at least get through them all. So first and foremost, from Jack. When it comes to genes, do you believe it's better to embrace your genetics to their true potential? For example, a guy with a lanky frame training to be shredded, and a guy with a stockier frame training to be yoked. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it will ultimately be dependent upon your genetics anyway, but the main rules for everyone is to continuously get better at whatever you do.
Murusame on Chud Watch. She's a potent ethno-nationalist.
Possibilities you have in terms of training. Perhaps one guy doesn't really have access to a good gym, but he has a good access to a Thai boxing club nearby, and he likes Thai boxing more, and he gets better at Thai boxing than he would from lifting. Yeah, of course, then he can go into the Thai boxing place. Other guys, and this is of course more common, they don't have access to a martial arts club. They they have access to a gym.
Is it bad?
So therefore they go in to progress in the main exercises in the gym. Then some other guy might be, you know, more inclined to do parkour or something like that. You know, a bit lighter guy. He focuses on calisthenics, etc. Then you have, you know, a stockier guy who wants to go into powerlifting. Do I sound with the sonic
screwdriver?
So
sounding sounds like the worst fucking thing in the world. For those of you who don't know, sound it. You know what? Google it. I'm not here to do your sex ed today. Sounds awful to me.
You will eventually gravitate towards the thing you get the most results from. But main point of the philosophy of taking the glorious pill is to get better continuously. Then what you get better at is, of course, up to you, what you like, what you see the most results in. But
I'll take a look at her another time and determine whether or not it's something I want to get involved in. Because Sarah has warned me harshly. So we shall see.
Improvement, that is what we're about. So I don't necessarily want everyone to look exactly the same way. I just want you to be the best version of yourself you can be, and you know, get that joy, happiness and confidence from the continuous progression. From Chris, when can we expect the launch of Username Nutrition in Germany?
Yeah, tell me about it later, like before D&D or something. Dude spanking dudes, I gotta read this. I'm sorry. I'll do it then. I sounded and got a crochet hook stuck in there, which needed surgery. Stay safe, kids, unlike me. Oh no! Ah! That sounds awful. Yeah. No. Nope. 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 Nope.
Also, have you ever gone hunting, or have you considered getting a hunter's license? Hopefully it will be for my birthday, so in 10 days actually. So on the 31st of July I aim to open the web shop for Germany and the rest of Europe, and I will keep you updated on it. In regards to hunting license, that was on my to-do list but for this year, but then Nurgle sent the COVID pandemic and cancelled everything, so I will have to postpone it, but it's definitely in my in the future plans to get a hunter's license. From Alex, will you be continuing your history videos? Yes, I will most definitely. I have at least 2.
This Q&A is boring as fuck. We gotta find some better content from him. How to attract a good woman in the modern world. We watched a little bit of this yesterday, so we won't start at the very beginning, but I'll go back a little bit. Basically, he's just talking about, like, if you want a good woman, basically a trad wife, a traditional wife, you need to be a trad man, is basically what he has to say.
Seen as wanted by other women, that's a good sign for even a good woman, because that means you have a high quality in the terms of sexual market value. But if you portray yourself as someone who likes to be out and about, you know, partaking in a degenerate lifestyle, yeah, a good woman will probably not be all too keen on settling down with you because you're not reliable in that sense. On the other hand, if you portray yourself as someone who is very disciplined, you have a clear goal, and you want a woman to share in your journey, yeah, that is an attractive prospect for her. You know, a stable, good man who's focused on, you know, his career or business or whatever it might be.
Can we see the disgusting sexual marketplace guy? Which one? Better Bachelor? I don't know who you're talking about. The Black Pigeon Speaks? Who? You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
He focuses solely on that, and he says to the world via how he portrays himself, you know, I am on this mission, I am on this ship, we're going straight forward. It would be great to have a wife and a family to share in this journey. So contrast that against someone who maybe works at some job and every weekend he goes out to nightclubs, etc. You know, it's quite easy to understand who will be more attractive for a good woman. And of course, a good woman is someone who is out to create a family and who hasn't been out and about.
Okay, you can be like a good man or good woman or good like non-binary individual without adhering to traditional gender roles. If a woman wants to go and have a family, that's great. Same with a man or non-binary or whatever. If anyone wants to not have a child and focus on something else in their life, that's also fine. Why do you care?
Too much. Also, speaking of which, if you want you know, a virgin or at least a woman who has not been out and about so much, she will probably appreciate a guy who hasn't been out and about too much also, because if she has a more sound attitude towards intimacy, she views sex as something, you know, that is between a loving couple, yeah, then she will probably not think it's all too fun to have a potential future husband who has been with many different women. This also includes pornography, and I can just say that on a personal note. When I get, you know, credit from women, I get, you know, a compliment. They say, thank you for talking about porn. And this is natural. Of course, no woman would like to see her future husband or her boyfriend or her husband to watch all of these naked women on a screen.
Most people look at porn at one time or another. Who cares? As long as you don't have like some sort of addiction problem to it, it's fine. Watching porn isn't going to make you less of a person. It's not going to make you a worse partner necessarily, again, as long as it's like a reasonable amount and it's not getting in the way of your intimacy with the person that you're with. It's fine. Look at porn. Or don't. Who cares?
Same thing there. If you have a good woman who believes sex to be something intimate between a loving couple, and then she knows you watch porn. Now, of course, no one will admit to watching porn.
I'll admit, I've watched porn. Of course. I'm a human being. Hi. Porn is a thing people look at.
Just like that, but say you are on Instagram and you see me commenting, you know, stop watching porn, and then you say, oh, isn't porn good for you? And then a woman see you commenting that, and then she says, you know what, this guy watches porn. So just a little example there. But, you know,
Baja Blast, thank you for continuing your subscription.
Think about the kind of woman you want. Try to mirror that. If you want a woman who has been more virtuous, okay, then you can be virtuous yourself and show with how you present yourself that I live a more wholesome life, should we say. So if you have an Instagram account, you can of course decide how you portray yourself. So maybe not a good idea to, you know, show how much you're out on drinking, etc. It's better to post physique and talk about.
Thank you to Dude Spanking Dudes. Oh, Belsthar, thank you for continuing your subscription. To be fair, at least he's holding men to the same standards. I suppose he's a Nazi, though, so...
About your goals, what you're doing, etc. So, basic point, be a good man, and you will increase your chances of attracting a good woman. Now, of course, this might sound very abstract, but if you have, that mentality, that you portray yourself as a stable man that is a very good candidate to be a good father, yourself in a stable way.
Alright, he's being boring as shit today. Let's look at a Tate speech thing, and then we'll look at sexual marketplace guy. But I want to see some Tate speech, because this guy is nuts. I assume most of you guys have seen my stuff about Tate speech. So what do we have? Tate on Women, Episode 2. Oh no. Tate on Cheaters, Episode 5. Tate on Sparkling Water, Tate on Living Off the Grid, Tate on Friends. Oh no. Let's see. Oh god, Tate on Why Real Men Don't Cry. Are we ready for the most toxic of masculinities? Let's check this shit out.
I've had a lot of guys on Twitter say, real men cry, and if women can cry, men can cry too, there's nothing wrong with it. And there absolutely is something wrong with it, and I'll explain to you why. Life as a man is far more difficult than life as a woman. And one of the key components...
No. It's gonna depend on many factors. You can't just say, all men have it worse, or all women have it worse. People have different struggles throughout their life dependent on a variety of factors. Gender is one of them, but to say all men have it worse than women is, at best, a way of completely ignoring all the issues that women face in society. The higher rates of sexual assault, the fact that, on the whole, yes, women do get paid less than men. It is more difficult to get ahead in companies as a woman and support yourself. There's all these views of how women are supposed to look. This is encapsulated best, I think, by the phrase. I think Family Guy made the joke at one point. I know, Family Guy, but still. They said something like, Lois, fat men aren't fat. Only fat women are fat. Like, weirdly enough, and this is true, my weight felt like it became much more of an issue for me after I came out as trans. And I know it shouldn't, because my health is a thing regardless, but I feel more judged about my weight identifying as a woman and being out about that to people than I did as a man. Or presenting as a man, rather. Like, people have different issues depending upon who they are. It's an individual thing. Come on.
Of manhood always has been and always will be. We have the ability to control ourselves and not act emotionally. Females are more emotionally driven, more emotionally impulsive than a good man should be.
Disagree. Everyone is emotional. We're all human beings. I think that often within our society, women tend to be more in touch with their feelings and more understanding of them. I'll even admit that since I got on hormones, I think I have a greater understanding of my own emotions. But the problem that we have when looking at emotion within society is society tends to deem female emotion as frivolous and male emotion as valid. So if someone like Tate gets real mad and starts screaming about something, basically being hysterical, people are like, yeah, that guy's driven, that guy has passion for the thing he's talking about. But if a woman does the same thing, people just go, oh, she's hysterical, she's just emotional, whatever. As if very true things can't come out of your emotional exuberance for a topic, right? Like, it's very strange.
Saying that I felt like crying, so I cried, this makes me a real man, is as stupid as me saying, well, I felt like smashing his face in, so I smashed his face in. This makes me a real man. No.
No, because the reason that we say that smashing someone's face in is bad is because that's assault and it has negative consequences both for you and the person you're hurting. You crying and admitting that you're having some sort of negative emotion is not a bad thing. It's a positive thing for you. Tate, do you understand how context works?
The hallmark of a real man is controlling himself, controlling his emotions, and acting appropriately regardless of how he feels. And throughout human history, this is exactly how men had to live their lives. Do you think that the teenagers storming the beaches of Normandy felt like crying? Of course.
Probably. Do you think no one on the beaches of Normandy were crying? I guarantee there were a decent number of nervous fucking breakdowns happening. Like, everything isn't Saving Private Ryan, guy. War is shit.
Of course they did, but they also knew that that wasn't the correct thing for them to do. They had a duty to commit to, they had an honor, and they did what they were supposed to do regardless of how they felt. That is the mark of a man. Weakness and absolute submission to your feelings are not the hallmarks of men. It's not the way society has ever been built. It's never been built off the...
Why are you framing crying and admitting that you're having a feeling as submission to them? It sets up this adversarial relationship between you and your emotions when your emotions are part of you. You're not at odds with your feelings. They're a part of who you are. And if you're sad about something, if something is making you incredibly sad or depressed or whatever, and it makes you cry, that's fine. That's an outlet for your feelings. If you just hold them in and pretend they don't exist and act like you're an enemy with them, it's going to create a ton of negative outcomes for you. This is what people mean when they're talking about toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity isn't saying that all masculinity is toxic. It's about these attitudes that we have in Western society about the fact that men shouldn't be emotional, men should be all these things, whatever, that cause these negative outcomes. It's stuff like this that causes men to have higher, like, suicide rates, higher homelessness, because men don't tend to reach out and create support networks because they aren't honest about the ways they're feeling. Like, a lot of the problems men face in society are a result of our toxic attitudes towards masculinity and what it should mean to be a man. It's very, very silly.
The backs of men who were crying their eyes out because they felt like crying. The only kind of men who advocate crying are the kind of men who do not have enough self-control to prevent themselves from crying. Because we're all human. There's times in your life, as a man, you're going to feel like crying. It's going to happen. But what you're supposed to do is not cry. Because this is a test in mental fortitude. And
you're not Batman. You're not Batman trying to forge your will to fix your broken back. You're not trying to have complete bodily control. I think Tate needs to see the movie Inside Out. I don't think he understands what emotions are.
There's no physical fortitude, there's no financial fortitude, there's no other type of fortitude without mental fortitude. So when you feel like crying, you ensure you do not cry, and you act appropriately as a man should. The men who say no, succumb instantly to your emotions, are the kind of people who have no self-control. And let me tell you something about men who have no self-control. Men who live without self-control are the kind of men who cry when their girlfriend cheats on them, because she certainly does, because she doesn't respect the little crybaby, and she's only with you because she's ugly as fuck and she has to settle for a little soy boy pussy like you. And
Tate, you cheat on your girlfriends constantly. What? Why do you even bring this up? If someone cheats on you and you're in a monogamous relationship with them, it would make sense to cry. You've been betrayed in a way that's fundamental to the human experience. What?
These guys sitting there, what they're trying to do by telling you to cry is drag you down to their level. They look at people like me, and I say, Ross, that's a big G. He's out there, he's fucking women, he's got his Lambo, he's a multimillionaire, self-made, 6'4", 4 times kickboxing world champion, chess genius. I don't like the way he's living his life because he's kicking too much ass. You need to cry more. He's trying to drag me down to his level. So
Tate, no. No, we just want you to be in touch with your feelings so you don't get depressed and kill yourself. Like, dude, I've seen your videos. You come off as incredibly insecure and trying to cover for that by putting out this, like, bravado and, like, constantly talking about how rich you are. Like, you could be incredibly rich and still have something missing in your life. It's pretty clear that something's not going right with you, that you feel that this is what you need to put off in terms of personality. Like, dude, you can do better. You could use your influence and wealth to help people instead of just being a dickbag all the time.
I can be a little crybaby like him. And he wants everyone else who reads his tweets to be a crybaby.
Devious
too.
Chillster
More
says he
little
comes off
weaklings
as the
in
guy who
career,
would kill John
less
Wick's
bad than he
dog.
about himself.
True.
No man wants to be a little crybaby if they're honest with themselves, and no woman certainly wants to fuck a little crybaby. So don't listen to the advice of people who are living lives you wouldn't want to live. What's actually interesting is, I always use this analogy. If you could build yourself from the ground up, if you could literally just, like from a video game, just tick characteristic boxes and build yourself, nobody would choose to be a liberal soy boy. Nobody would.
Disagree. I wouldn't, because I'd be going straight for the no penis box. I'd check that. But what's wrong with being like left wing? And what does left wing have to do with crying? Like, you should be in touch with your feelings regardless of your political affiliations. Avoiding your feelings is unhealthy.
Choose to be a small, weak guy who has to cry when he gets upset. Everyone, when they get that application form from God saying build yourself for your next life, would tick tall, strong, smart, mentally tough, doesn't cry, gets pussy, rich. They tick all the things they tell me I'm bad, all the assets I have, everything that I am, they tell me is bad. But if they had the choice to have these things instantly...
No, Tate, if I woke up tomorrow and I was in your life, I would have to change absolutely everything about it. Because your life sounds like a nightmare to me. You wake up every morning with women who you know are only with you because of your money, because you treat them like shit. I've seen you do so on the videos, and I've heard how you talk about them. I guarantee no one in your life hangs around you because they like you. It's all about your money and this pursuit of, like, objects, and even treating other human beings like objects. You have no personality outside of telling other people their shit. Like, it just seems vacuous. It seems like the saddest life. I would never want to wake up and be Tate.
They would sign up. And the reason they don't have these things is because all of these things come with hard work. To be physically strong, you have to work out. That's difficult. To be financially independent, you have to be smart. That's difficult. So they don't have these things because they're hard for them to acquire, but they're very easy for them to acquire. They'd have them all. Nobody wants...
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Darth Moonbear, thank you for following. Am I back? Back? You see me? Okay. Strange.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
David
capitalism.
USA, bits to fix stream. Thank you. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Can you guys... How's the video? Choppy?
Wants to be a crybaby. The mark of being a real man is not being a crybaby. The mark of a real man is walking down the street, 5 guys with knives coming up to try and rape your girlfriend, and you look at them in the face and saying, fuck you. It's not crumbling into a ball, crying your eyes out and say, I have emotions too. That just makes you a bitch.
No, Tate, it makes you a human being. Please join the rest of us in not being weird. Poor Tate. He's in a prison of his own design, and I don't even think he realizes it. A cleanse? Sure, we can do a cleanse. We can do a cleanse if someone has one. Put this in the file for later. Comcast, Hannah. We have, Charter, I think. Not Comcast. Cleanse yourself.
You're a Nazi and you're fired, it's your fault. You responded in a mob and you lost your fucking job. You're a Nazi and you're fired, it's your fault. One more time! You're a Nazi and you're fired, it's your fault. It's your fault. You're a Nazi and you're fired, it's your fault. It's your fault. You responded in a mob and you lost your fucking job. You're a Nazi and you're fired, it's your fault.
That is funny. I do like that. Baja Blast says, your stream fucked up when I turned the PS4 on and it came back when I turned it off. Am I not allowed to play Skyrim? Apparently not. Not right now, at least. I don't know why the internet's being like this the past couple days. Alright, so this is from Terrence Pop, the weird guy who acts drunk all the time.
Are you sick and tired of woke lefty culture? You enjoy books and art, but hate commie propaganda?
Fuck. Wow.
Dyslexia. If so, Punch Riot is for you. Feminists and snowflakes love to hate the political agenda.
Up, you bunch of internalized misogynists. Terrence Pop here, Redonkulous.com, winning. And Bad Pop fucked me on the laundry again, but this time I got even. I snuck into his room and I poured beer all over his underwear. Winning. Bad Pop isn't the only one getting his...
This guy's personality is legit some of the most annoying shit I've ever seen on YouTube. He literally goes, winning, like it's 2011. What the hell?
And he's in a twist, if you know what I mean.
Dear men who write articles about how women should behave, please stop.
Really? You gotta be kidding me! Wasn't it feminists that put manspreading on the books as an actual punishable offense? There is a reason why I wrote feminism hypocrisy on there, even though I did repeat myself. What are you gonna do?
This guy's entire personality is being an alcoholic, and I'm not even kidding. It's just the worst.
Yeah.
I cannot read one more thing that tells women to not talk about their feelings in order to protect the egos of men.
Project much? Space Ghost. It was feminism that told the man to just shut up when their woman skipped into Planned Parenthood without him.
Is it just me, or does that sound a lot?
The new monster says, this is the kind of thing your boomer dad and father-in-law listens to in the car. Yep. This does sound like 2012. This is from 2020, though. This is from July 17th, 2020. This is from, like, 5 days ago. Anyway, so the false equivalence he's making. You understand the difference between talking in general and trying to tell women what they should or shouldn't do with their bodies? They're not the same thing. False equivalence.
Like telling men to shut up so they don't hurt the egos of women.
This week I was unfortunate enough to stumble across multiple articles by men on what men want from women. Each one was sexist, untrue, and ridiculously thoughtless, dangerous, and rooted in
misogyny.
Again, all these channels have something in common in that they think that saying a word funny is a joke. And I've even admitted to doing this before. And I can tell you what it is. When you don't have anything substantive or funny to say, you say a word funny. And that's the joke. It's the bottom tier of humor. It's below puns. It isn't funny.
Allow me to translate this chick speak.
Devious Chillster, thank you for continuing your sub. Thanks, Hannah. This makes me want to commit Sudoku in Minecraft. Funny.
For you, and I made a whole video about that subject. Links in the description. She read a few articles that told the truth, and
no, she didn't like the fact that people like you put content out there about, like, here's what men want from women, and it's always the most, like, vapid bullshit. I've watched some of the videos on this kind of thing before from MGTOW incel channels about, like, men don't want women who speak their minds. Men want hot women who do what they're told, and it's like, women don't care. Women don't give a fuck. They're not going to conform them to what makes your pee-pee hard, friendo. That's not their only purpose. Who cares? Grow up.
It hurt her feelings, Wayne. So obviously you have to write a bunch of bullshit like this. Wayne. You actually think you're going to shame a high-value dude into...
High-value dude. I'm sure the guy who goes on the internet to talk about how much he thinks women are of low value is considered very high value by most women. You're nailing it. David94, or David USA 94, with 145 bits. Hannah, I'd love to see an Elon update sometime or about Kanye running for president. Just some ideas for the future. I did talk about Kanye running for president for a bit. Honestly, I don't know how much to talk about the Kanye thing, because it's clear he's having, like, a manic episode, and, like, I'm not gonna make fun of someone who just needs to be medicated. Like, Kanye needs some help, but I'm not gonna make fun of the guy. Toeing24 says, this is a Coach Red Pill parody, right? Oh no, this guy wishes he was Coach Red Pill.
To writing a check against you? You?
What upset me most about these articles is that some women might read them and actually think they should change themselves to fit the needs of men.
Which is a reasonable thing to say, because there are a lot of young women out there who are probably insecure and they're trying to figure out who they are as a person. They might look up things like, I don't know, what do guys like in a girl? And they might come across these gross MGTOW articles that tell women to shut up and not have an opinion, that tell them to focus entirely on their looks and not on their personalities, that tell them, you know, to take whatever their man is dishing out, like really, really negative views of how relationships should work, and people could be suckered in by them because they don't know better, and that's not a good thing. Dude spanking dudes with a bit. At least Coach Red Pill doesn't use the annoying high screech voice when he's reading the article. True.
I think I see what's really going on here. Real articles written by men actually offer good advice.
No, they don't. Framing this in that way will not change the fact that the content you produce is disgusting, and it makes you look like an asshole. The things that you want women to do and be are antithetical to the health of a woman in the modern world. Like, you literally want women to go shut up and go in the kitchen, unironically. And it's really, really negative and makes women see themselves as entirely sex objects, because that's how you see them. You don't see women as full human beings. You view them as basically a sex slave mommy to come into your house, cook you food, clean the house, let you fuck her, and leave you alone to get drunk. Like, that's all you view women as, and it's really, really unhealthy, and probably why your wife left you. Like, I'm not kidding either. This guy has the attitude of a man whose wife left him, and he, like, is super salty about it. He hasn't, I think, explicitly says that, but he's mentioned, like, women divorcing you in middle age and stuff before in a way that seems, like, really salty. So I'm guessing this guy's wife left him, rightfully so. He seems like a nightmare, and now he's trying to, like, mental gymnastics his way out of understanding that it was probably his fault.
So the story has to become one where men telling women what they want in a relationship is sexist and dangerous and...
It's pretty fucked up of you to assume that women should conform yourself to what you like and not that you should look at the pool of what women are and come up with preferences based on that, right? Like, if I said, for instance, or if a cis woman said, because I'd imagine this guy wouldn't see me as a woman, because, Frankly, he doesn't even see women as human beings, much less being woke on trans issues. Let's say a cis woman wrote an article. It's like, here are things I want men to be. And it was like, I want them to treat me as an equal person. Stuff like that. I'd imagine you'd be like, you're telling men what to do? Like, that's what you're doing, except in a profoundly negative way. You're not even just asking for equality. You're asking to be a king in your house. It's gross.
Untrue, eh?
You know, up until the coronavirus, the millennial generation was the largest pandemic the world had ever seen.
Oh, wow. This is like primo boomer shit. Millennials are in their 40s, friendo. They're in their early 40s, late 30s. I'm one of the younger millennials. I'm 26.
And the list of symptoms is longer than a walk to Mordor. If you have a useless college degree, live at home in your 30s, believe all women, always have an excuse for your failures, and think Bernie Sanders actually has good ideas, I got bad news for you. You've caught the stupid, and it's probably terminal.
Oh no, wanting people to have health care? That's so stupid. Friend, you might want to get behind Medicare for all, considering that your liver's gonna give out like last week. Jesus Christ.
Luckily, there's a cure. Pick up How Not to Become a Millennial, a salvation guide for Generation Z, and vaccinate yourself against the soy. A link is in the description.
Yikerinos. I'm a millennial, and this guy makes me cringe. I feel like someone from Gen Z would watch this video and self-destruct. Altered Rin with 10 bits. As a person with a pretty bad social anxiety and has been through mental abuse, I've looked up stuff like how to approach people and stuff like that. Luckily, I never fell down a toxic rabbit hole of stuff like this, but I can see how someone could. People who make these videos are such trash and take advantage of people with little confidence and other social issues. Oh yeah, it's messed up. This guy's 50-year-old PewDiePie. Yeah.
Here are a few that I've read.
It's too bad you didn't provide any links to these sexist articles. Well, if you did, we might actually believe that they exist.
Guy, I've seen you make videos like this. We've watched them before.
See his eyes light up when you tell him you appreciate that he gets up and goes to work every day.
Regardless that you're doing the same. Are you kidding me?
Yes, are you kidding me? Am I really supposed to believe a bunch of these so-called quotes taken completely out of context?
Yes. Yes, people like you say this kind of shit all the time, and you've seen plenty of, like, trad wife type people, like, oh, what are their names? Fuck, I'm forgetting their names now. Girl Defined, they say stuff like this all the time. So yes, these are things that are said by people on the right who want to confine women to a specific role in society.
Context are real just because you say so?
Everybody lies. Except me.
Oh, it's not like feminists created an entire website dedicated to producing material exactly like this, right? No. What? Do not adjust your eyes. Everyday Feminism writes for the Good Man Project. That's like if Mia Khalifa were selling chastity belts.
Friendo, you can both be a feminist and a man. You get that, right? Feminism is a perspective taken into account of, like, decent people everywhere, not just women.
You might be selling it, but no one's buying.
We're supposed to compliment men for waking up and going to work? First of all, no. Secondly, absolutely not. Third, why?
It's called gratitude. You should probably try it.
No. 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 Within a relationship, you have parameters. If, for instance, your husband or wife or whoever it might be goes to work every day, presumably you're making up for that by cleaning or whatever, doing something else. Every relationship has, like, sort of a contract, a social contract where either you'll both work or one will work and the other will do something else, whatever. Either way, you're in a relationship, you have an understanding of what is going to happen, and you should feel appreciation for your partner because what they do, it's great, and it's, you know, whatever. But, like, it's not something extra you need to be applauded for, right? It's good to appreciate your partner and the things they do, but, like, if it's your job to go get up and go to the office every day, you're not going to get applauded every day for that shit. Like, you need to pay bills too, friend. It's fine.
We all wake up and go to work every day. Men do not need to be complimented for doing the bare minimum, and neither does anybody else. But explicitly telling women to compliment men for going to work is seriously disturbed.
No, it's not. Obviously, you want me to mansplain it to you. Women actually have a choice if they're gonna work or not. Men, they don't get that luxury at all.
What? No. What are you talking about? If a woman wants to support herself, she needs to go to work. This is this weird incel mindset that women everywhere, as if this is even something most women would want to do, could just spread their legs and land some man to come take care of them. First of all, incredibly disgusting view of women that you think they're all effectively prostitutes looking for a meal ticket. And secondly, oh God, the fact that you think, oh God, the fact that you think that women don't have to work is so divorced from reality. I don't even know what to say about it. It's so divorced from reality, you should probably be making alimony payments to it. Like, women also live in society and have to pay bills, right? And even within most relationships nowadays, bills are shared, right? You and your partner, if you're both working, are probably going to split the bills, whether it's actually paying literally half or splitting the bills and like someone pays the water bill, someone pays the electric bill, or even if that's not the case, again, probably one person is going to do some of the housework in more of like a traditional setting, whatever, in more a traditional relationship. What is wrong with you that you think this is optional for women to make money? No.
We are weighed and measured by our success and what we produce. If we fall short, we are worthless to the world and society.
Or you could go get yourself a sugar mama and you can do what you're claiming women do. Go for it. Although, in fairness, in order to do that, you'd actually have to be an appealing person, and I very much doubt anyone spends time with you voluntarily.
Women get to choose if they want the career or the home life. The delusional ones think they can do both without either of them suffering. That's where the prison population comes in.
What?
Screen 5. I know there's some ladies out there who are going to go, you know what, housewives, they're just not respected. Well, I'm going to call bullshit on that one. Feminists are the ones that convinced you that having a family and having a man provide for you.
Feminism says that you can, and again, saying feminism says any one thing is going to be false on the whole, because feminism has all sorts of different schools of thought, but more or less, the feminism in almost all waves, let's say second wave feminism, because that included stuff like going to work, right? Getting paid equally to men. Feminism says that if you want to go to work and you want to focus on success in the workplace, that should be something you're allowed to do, right? You can stay home and be a mother if that's what you are able to do and your partner agrees and that's something that's amicable to all parties involved. That's great too. Feminism does not shame you for choosing to stay home and be a mother. No one cares. Do what you want to do. It's just that if you want to focus on things other than family, if you don't want to have kids, or if you want to have kids and you want to go to work, you should be able to do those things if you're able.
Somehow was oppression. You gave up a life on Easy Street so you could be easy on the street. Screen 5.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. So, I'm not a parent. I never will be. I'm on hormones. Luckily, I'm sterilized. Which is something I wanted because I've never wanted kids, and it's not something that sounds appealing to me. Childcare can be a full-time job if you are a stay-at-home parent, whatever. Kids are tough to deal with. It's one of the reasons I don't want to have any. I don't have the patience. I can't do it. trying to look down on people who take care of their kids all day instead of, like, getting babysitters or getting them in daycare or whatever, kind of fucked up. It's not really an honest look at what people have to do when they take care of their kids all day, especially if they have multiple kids. Ugh. Not a fan of kids.
Babe, can we talk?
Are among the most dreaded words in any language to the vast majority of men. He hears only, I'm in trouble.
We need to talk is the beginning of an ultimatum, which means the relationship is over.
How bad of a communicator is this guy that he believes that every conversation that you have to have with your partner about something serious ends in an ultimatum? I kind of think it speaks to how shitty of a person that he is, that he's incapable of coming into a conversation with his significant other and coming to a compromise on whatever issue it might be, and he always sees it as an ultimatum. No, dude. No. Have a conversation like an adult and recognize that there are solutions to problems.
Maybe instead of blaming men for all of your shitty decisions, you take a moment, do some self-reflection.
What am I doing wrong that's fucking this all up?
Okay, so in this situation, we are not allowed to ask men to talk because men are unable to even speak about conflict? No, dude, we can speak about conflict and resolve our issues like adults, or I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, that's a reasonable position. If you can't have a conversation with another person that you're in a relationship with, you shouldn't be in a relationship. You're not mature enough for it. This guy's like 50-something years old, and he acts like a 12-year-old boy. Thank you to Toin24 with 25 bits. If this dude is kids, they fucking despise him, probably because he hit their mom, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
Conflict is just fine when it's rational.
Rational. TM. Here comes the, I'm a very rational man. Dude, you're drunk in half of your videos. You're gonna sit here and tell me that you, who we watched an entire video on about how you think sex dolls are going to replace women, you're, very masculine, logical, and rational. No, you're angry and hysterical and think that all women are hypergamous. You're fucking crazy. Leslie Clausen with 10 bits. Thank you very much.
Not only will men listen to a valid argument, we'll even try to fix it. But most of these conflicts happen because you're just not happy.
Oh no! Someone wants to be happy in a relationship with me? Pfft, this is just illogical. Why aren't you all seeing this relationship as transactional like I am? We must be rational in this relation. Like, dude, what do you think a fucking marriage is? Love isn't about necessarily A, being rational, and two, A and B, I very much doubt you, drunky McRedneck, were being fucking rational when you act like all women are sluts looking for a handout. You are not a rational person. You behave entirely emotionally.
And instead of communicating, you try to manipulate us into changing our behavior. We made a whole...
Let me guess. You refused to literally do anything around the house? And then she was like, hey, I'm feeling kind of left out in the cold here. You're, not doing anything. And you went, well, I go to work. I don't need to do anything. And then she went, well, yeah, but, like, you still live in this house and you need to be able to do some chores like an adult. So please, I don't know, when you pee on the toilet seat, clean it up. And he goes, you're manipulating me. Much rational. Very logic.
Whole video about that called manipulation. Links in the description. I'm sorry, but that's how you go from 40 to 80, waking up every day smelling kitty litter on your pillow.
This entire thing reeks of men not even being able to handle the most basic conflict, which I'd like to think is complete garbage. I know the men in my life are able to communicate without collapsing in on themselves like a dying star. You should be able to as well.
If women could handle basic conflict and communicate instead of manipulate, 80% of divorces would not be filed by women.
What? 80% of women are 80% of divorces are filed by women. Yeah? Probably because of people like you who are completely incapable of meeting people halfway. Right? You get that, right? Just because the woman is the one filing the divorce does not mean that they were the one unwilling to meet halfway in the relationship. I guarantee the woman in most of these relationships was trying to communicate with their husband and get them to change, and they refused to do so.
5.
Men are not socialized to be in touch with their emotions.
Actually, we are, but women say fuck that instead of fucking that, if you know what I mean.
What? No, you didn't. You just said yes, we are. No, you're not. No, you're not, though. Men are socialized more or less, and we saw this in the last video with Tate as well. Often, it's better nowadays, but often, people in your generation, for instance, I don't know when you were raised, probably the 70s, the 60s, I don't know, that men shouldn't cry, men shouldn't be emotional, men shouldn't be able to have conflict resolution that doesn't involve their fists. These were things for a long time, and many people still raise their kids like this. It's not good for them.
Again, this is a huge generalization.
Those are okay only when I say so. Where?
And is the same as saying women just mature faster than men. No, we mature at the same rate.
Actually, that is true. Women do mature faster than men. They just like to forget that they stop maturing the nanosecond they spread their legs for a schlonging.
Wow. Do I even need to broach that shit? That's like the most fucked up thing I think he said yet. Yuckarinos.
But men continue to mature throughout our lives because unlike women, our value compounds with our ability to provide more resources and protection.
No. No. It depends upon the individual and has nothing to do with gender. First of all, let's address what happened first of all. The saying goes that girls mature faster than boys. This probably comes from the fact that girls are taught and reprimanded more for acting out, and boys are said to, boys will be boys, they're gonna do whatever, they're gonna roughhouse, they're gonna yada 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 get into trouble, whereas women are disciplined appropriately. Therefore, boys take longer to mature. As adults, whether or not you continue to mature is entirely based on who you are as a person. I can talk about my parents, for instance. My mom and my dad both seem to have stopped maturing around the time they started drinking. So my mom acts like a 15-year-old, and my dad acts like, I don't know, a weird 17-year-old alcoholic. So, I would argue probably the same happened to this guy. He's drunk in every single video he makes, and therefore, he probably hasn't matured since he started drinking. Not good. No bueno.
It also helps that we don't age in dog years.
Why didn't anybody tell me?
Jesus fucking Christ. Weren't you just saying... Do you not understand the issue with the fact that you are saying that men are valued based on what they do, but women are only valued based on how they look? That's fucked up, bro.
Please stop making excuses for bad behavior.
Maybe you should take your own advice and stop blaming men for problems which you created. Women are the ones that wanted abortion, birth control, and no-fault divorce. You destroyed the sexual marketplace and turned it into a free-for-all.
Oh no! People don't have to be in relationships with men in order to support themselves? What'll we do? Terrence, this is why you got divorced, right? And it's why you'll never get married again, most likely, because you're a piece of shit.
Toxic masculinity and patriarchy absolutely impact men.
There you go. You can't have a feminist article without the 1-2 punch. Shocker, want to smell it? No.
It's always interesting to me when these people illustrate toxic masculinity in the same breath that they're decrying its existence. It's very interesting.
But men are also able to do the research and seek help, therapy, or advice in the same ways that women are.
If we weren't positive before, now we know you're completely full of shit, to the point your eyes are probably brown. You claim you want everyone to take responsibility.
And yet you have no problem labeling an entire gender toxic.
Holy shit, dude. Toxic masculinity does not mean all men are toxic. Toxic masculinity is the idea that, again, many of the things that you propagate, this idea that, like, men are valued for the things they do and women are valued for how they look, that attitude is toxic. You being a man is not toxic. You could be a man and not be a shitbag. Jeez.
Hello, chat.
For existing.
Please, somebody tell me, how do you have a rational debate with that? Oh, the answer is you can't.
Just so you know, lady, taking antidepressants out of a Pez dispenser and swallowing a handful of benzos every night, praying it'll knock you out before you cry yourself to sleep with, that's not seeking help.
This is another excuse for some men to behave like infants.
Infants are emotional bombs that go off whenever they don't get what they want.
Sounds like a lot of dudes I know to me.
Oh, no. Oh, we should film it.
A worldwide pandemic has shut down the borders, and people won't stop listening to the lamestream media.
They're eating people. What do you expect us to do?
It's their culture!
You want zombies? That's how you get zombies. Brett William Mauser's Red Days gives us a disemboweled world where the end is nigh and the characters are high.
You want to give him the right to vote?
Still more on today when you're just cut off.
The same exact.
Or he does this. Space Ghost.
Come on, you're better than this. This is the same exact sentiment as all of the above. Get it together. Stop making insane generalizations and excuses about men.
You need to take a healthy dose of your own advice, and perhaps you should take it anally.
Most importantly.
Ha ha ha, you said anal? Is that the joke? She's not making generalizations about men. She's literally saying that men are better than this. Who is writing these articles? Because again, I don't think anyone has a lower opinion of men than these incel MGTOW people that claim that all men only value women for the way they look, and they claim that, you know, all men are this or that or whatever.
Stop making women do all the work.
Weren't you the one that stated a few paragraphs back that people should not be congratulated for doing the bare minimum?
Hey, dipshit. Carrying the entirety of the emotional payload of a relationship on your own back is not the bare minimum. Jesus Christ.
By telling us that the only way to make a man happy is to shut up and protect their ego.
And yet, not a single one of these cherry-picked figments of your delusional imagination says anything like that.
You have. I've seen multiple videos of you where you say effectively that women should shut up and deal with whatever men say. Right? You don't want their input. You just think they're a hole to put your pee-pee in. Like, how can you honestly say this with the things that you've said about women and how they should react to men? Very dishonest.
It's amazing. You're such a monumental failure, you can't even lie correctly.
You are essentially telling us that the men we know and love are less developed than a 4-year-old child, and I gotta say, you're wrong.
That is not what we're saying. We're simply asking you to think before you speak. Because I know this is gonna hurt your feelings, but not everything that comes out of your mouth is worth listening to, Screen 5.
Maybe take your own advice? I don't think I've heard a single thing of value come out of your mouth. Like, you're drunk all the time. Have you considered doing a video sober? It might help.
If you're gonna risk your relationship, it better be for a good goddamn reason. Not every imagined slight or insult is worth emasculating someone else.
I just can't with this train of thought.
Wait, what? Are you saying that you should be able to shit on women and they should just take it because it's not worth the fight? Like, dude, you instigated. What are you talking about? You think you should get a free pass to have little jabs at people and just, well, why are you calling me out on my bullshit? Isn't it just too much work? Why are you instigating then? Isn't it too much work?
I cannot comprehend this.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing.
In an entirely different article on an entirely different subject, I read about what men don't care about, and boy was I disappointed.
This ought to be good, do tell.
We don't care that your hair or makeup isn't perfect today. We don't care about those few extra pounds that you want to lose. We don't care that you have a few drinks on a date. But don't overdo it.
Those are all valid, but I'm sure you're gonna find something else to bitch about.
Note the double entendres here. Isn't perfect today. Few extra pounds, but don't overdo it.
Do yourself and me a favor and stop reading between the lines that...
What do you mean reading between the lines? It's obvious that the implementation of that and the qualifications on those sentences imply, well, but if it's too many pounds, then it's my job to tell you how to be as a human being. Don't get me wrong, like, it's good to care about the health of your partner. For instance, I'm losing weight. I'm down about 20 pounds so far, and that's great. But, like, if you're telling your partner, hey, fatty, you need to lose some weight, not a good way to go about things, right? And if the makeup thing, again, today, it implies that most of the time, or at least a great deal of the time, your partner's makeup should be perfect. Otherwise, they aren't worthy of your affection. It's fucked up.
Just are not there. Men, we're simple creatures. We do what we say, and we say what we mean.
No, not the case. Human beings are complicated. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about when I say people like this, MGTOW incel people, have the lowest opinion of men of anyone. This implication that men are a bunch of idiot Neanderthals wandering around just wanting to fuck things. It's an incredibly negative view of men. I don't view men like this. Men are like anyone else, right? They're human beings. They're complicated. They're thoughtful. They're creative and wonderful, just like women are. Like, what are you talking about?
Stop treating us like women. We are not your frenemy.
What about if my hair and makeup aren't perfect every day?
Simpotent says, I don't do what I say or say what I mean, so I must be an exception to the rule.
Or I have more than a few extra pounds. Or how about if I do get drunk on occasion?
Sounds to me like someone is making a confession.
Dude, your entire personality is being an alcoholic. Are you really gonna make a joke about someone else drinking?
Well, someone hit a nerve, didn't they?
Please stop writing about what you may or may not care about, because let me tell you right now, we absolutely do not care if you care or not.
So tell me, is that why you spent hours upon hours fabricating quotes from these danger...
They're not fabricated. Why do you assume they're fabricated?
They're sexist.
I could go find a bunch of articles right now that say this stuff. What do men, I don't know, like in a woman? I don't know if I'll... 10 traits men love. Sexy femininity. Da-da-da-da-da. Can bring a hero instinct to them. Ew. Sense of humor, confidence, adventurous. I gotta find a shittier one. Let's see. 7 personality traits men find. Oh god, it's a slideshow. I hate these. I hate this shit. Kindness. Making the first move. Hold on, I gotta find one of these shitty articles though. Let me see if I can find... Let me actually just type in the exact quote from the article. Please stop writing... No. What about if my hair and makeup aren't perfect every day? What about if my hair and makeup aren't perfect every day? Let me see if I can find this article. Interestingly, oh, there we go. Here's the source. Oh god, do I need to fucking sign in to read this? I'm not signing in.
Or how about if I do get drunk on occasion?
Sounds to me like someone is making...
Please, stop writing if you...
Fabricating them with this trash? Because you don't care? Who exactly are you trying to convince? Me or your...
Simpotent, 25 bits. I'm making Abe Lincoln Spider-Man kiss with the last 2 pennies in my pocket. Okay. Dude, she's not saying she doesn't care that these articles exist. She's saying that she doesn't care what you think about her. These things can be mutually exclusive. She can care very much that these toxic articles exist out there, and they do. I've seen articles like this before. While also not caring what you actually think of her. Don't get the two confused.
Yourself. Either way, it's not working.
These kinds of articles are damaging to everybody, regardless of gender or sexuality, especially those who are particularly impressionable.
Without impressionable idiots, feminism would not exist. Space Ghost.
I cannot fathom how poorly this would impact somebody with low self-esteem.
Clearly, it would trigger a temper tantrum and a worthless post-wall OPAF thought, put her in a tailspin of hyper-rationalization, and cause a monsoon of psychological projection and illogical cry-bullying.